Shalom. First and foremost, I want to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai Bashim Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And also honor and salutations to those of you who are of the hopeful elect and are out there teaching the word in sincerity and truth. Alright, so I wanted to get into this topic. I think I wouldn't say I wanted to say the latest hot news, but there's a lot going on right now, so you can't say which one is the hottest. But what's going on here, at least on stateside or here in the United States, is this port strike that's going on up and down the eastern seaboard and on the Gulf Coast. And so it's causing a lot of let's say worry. It's causing a lot of doubt for the people who know about it and that are thinking about it. But then there's people who have no idea the effects that it could have on their everyday life. So we've seen already a rise in prices at the grocery store, right? I jokingly talk about, you should be able to go to the gas station, and get a few snacks, $5-6. Now it's like going grocery shopping just to get snacks. And now getting groceries is like making a life decision. Do I get gas this week or do I get groceries this week? It's getting tough at the register, if you will. And that's going to continue as long as these ports are shut down, right? Because there's going to be a couple of different things that have to happen. Or let me say it this way. There's a couple of things that are happening that's going to cause a chain reaction to those costs going up, right? And so I wanted to mention that these things and things like it can lead into the MOTB or the CHIP, right? Because what's ultimately happening is a bunch of chaos, right? Prices going up, which is going to cause people to be worried. If they can't afford things, what are they going to do? They're going to take matters into their own hand, as the scriptures say, right? And if you know anything about union strikes, right, it could take anywhere from a couple of weeks to a couple of months to a year, right, just to negotiate a deal within the union. And so this could really have some adverse effects here in the United States, right? And so we should be praying, obviously. We should be preparing ourselves mentally, right? And really buckling our seatbelts and watching Yahweh Bashim Yahushai do the damn thing, right? So I got a couple of scriptures to talk to some of these points I'm making here, and hopefully it's edifying. So I wanna read this one first. Actually, yeah, why not? I want to read this one first. This is Isaiah 10:1. It says, "Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed." All right. It says, "To turn aside the needy from judgment, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey, and that they may rob the fatherless." Right. So when you go here, grievousness which they have prescribed, right? More often than not, when you have these big skirmishes like this, or these big, let's say, seemingly unsolvable problems, on the back end of that, the elite always have some solution, seemingly to help the people, but ultimately to help them, right? And we have to have these little things to sow doubt in people, right? We had the the let's say the hamdemic a couple years ago, right? You had now these port shutdowns, right? You got raising costs of living, right? All these things together, what do? It puts worry in the people, and that's what the chaos is designed to do. Make people worry, like, oh shit, something needs to be done about this, right? And then what does the elite do? They come in on the back end, right? With their solution, again, to seemingly help, but really it's to further their enterprise, right? It says, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, right? That widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless, right? And really, ultimately, that's what they're doing, right? They take these, or let me say it this way: these single women are going to be the ones who are affected by these kinds of things the most, right? These women that are on government assistance, or even these older people that are on fixed incomes, the fatherless, meaning there's no men around, right? These people are going to suffer the most, right? During these times, and ultimately, unless you're around or with a man of the Lord, a lot of these things aren't going to be rectified for you in the let's say in the immediate, right? Where we're in that trouble, right? So let me go. What's this one? Yeah, let's read this real quick. This is Matthew 24:7. It says, "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places," right? And so famines, as we know, famines, it can be so in ancient times. A famine was induced by, let's say, a crop was destroyed, maybe due to the fact that there was no rain for some time, right? But now the economy is different, right? So this this port strike can create a famine, and that the food is so expensive that we you can't even afford to buy it, right? Or because the ports are not having, or let's say taking the goods and services in, right? It doesn't get to the grocery store. So it might not even be the fact that they're too expensive. It might be a case where they're not even in the grocery stores, right? So these are the things that are going to happen. So I wanted to show this little clip here. I found this on Google, but I want to play it. Hopefully, I don't get a strike for playing it. But these guys are getting into what order out of chaos actually is, right? So let me play this really quick.
As a matter of fact, create control over the world headquarters in Switzerland of the World Masonic Headquarters for World Freemasonry. Over the door is Ordo ab Chao, which is Latin for order out of chaos. And all Freemasons know that term, Ordo ab Chao. Order out of chaos. The concept is to create chaos, to create the problems. Then while the people are frightened to death of all the crime and everything that seems to be out of control, a riotous situation, the government then moves in with justification. In order to put down this terrible chaos, they must have full power of the military, full obedience of the people to give the government full power to do whatever they want. That's why we have in all over the world wars, riots, bloodshed, famines, all kinds of things happening around the world. It's being manipulated. It's being orchestrated. Not just for Los Angeles.
It's conflict control.
Conflict control.
There's been more wars since the creation of the United Nations.
People need to wake up.
Right. So and this is what they do, right? And so this is what you get here when you're reading Isaiah the 10th chapter in the first verse, right? Order out of chaos. This is grievousness which is prescribed. Let's look up this word prescribed really quick. Right? To write, inscribe, engrave, write in, right? Record and roll, right? To be written down, be recorded, be enrolled. Continue writing, right? But when you look up that word prescribed, let's do this. It says of a medical practitioner advise and authorize the use of a medicine or treatment for someone, especially in writing. Recommend the substance, action. What am I looking for here? Let's go to this. Boom. Pre, right? Before. Scribe, write. So to write before, right? In other words, before it happens, right? To write it. So when you get grievousness, which they have prescribed, right? This is created trouble, right? This is manufactured trouble, as they said, controlled chaos, as they said, right? And this is, I think this port shutdown is a part of that, right? Maybe I won't get into that point. Again, I want to continue reading some scriptures here. So I got this article just to round out the point here. So this is from CNBC. It says chaos is building for shippers as U.S. port strike continues and costs rise, right? Boom. Check this out. As the East and Gulf Coast port strike hits day 3 on Thursday, there are multiple signs of supply chain stress building, right? It says thousands of shipping containers were potentially dumped at wrong port. Oh, this is kind of like some notes. I read most of this. All right, I'll just read these points here then. Thousands of shipping containers were potentially dumped at the wrong ports as ocean carriers scrambled to find alternate options for cargo. And increased tracking of diverted vessels is a direct challenge to an ILA union threat to stop unloading at other ports. Surcharges, right? Which basically, let's look it up. Surcharge is an additional fee or cost that is added to the original price of a product or service. Surcharges can be a fixed amount or a percentage of the purchase price. They can be used to offset higher costs such as labor costs or to cover the cost of accepting a payment method, right? So this is so basically prices being raised, right? Or costs being raised rather. Imposed by shipping giants are starting to mount. And the need to use inland transportation options like trucking and rail for diverted cargo are adding to costs, right? A major grocery chain CEO tells CNBC that while it is well stocked for weeks to come, some go-to items will not be available and prices on items like bananas will rise significantly, right? And so that's just a start, right? And you can't be stocked in a grocery store for weeks, maybe with that processed stuff. But with produce, right? Produce, even the processed stuff, there's only 3 days worth of food on the shelves, right? And once that 3 days is up, and you get a let's say an increase in customer volume because everybody's trying to hustle and get to the food before the next man does, right? That 3 days gets shortened significantly, right? So yeah, while you might be let's say stocked for weeks, that's going to run out pretty quickly if if those ports don't get cleared up, right? So this is again, this is the chaos that's happening, right? This is the chaos that's being built up, and again, they're going to come with a solution, and that solution is going to be, of course, the MOTB, right? So let's keep going. Let's talk about some of these things that can happen, right? Oh yeah, this is Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, right? But at the end it shall speak and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, right? And so we have all kinds of scriptures that speak to famine, and speak to this let's say desperation that's going to happen amongst the people. The scriptures that talk to the servants being able to eat, right, while everybody else is struggling, right? So these are the visions, right, now that are coming to pass, right? I was watching the news yesterday, and it was just like one story after another was prophetic, right? You got what's going on between Israel and Iran. You got, of course, this port strike, right? And all of these things happening at the same time. You got, let's say, the Russian ships being posting up in waters close to American borders. It's like, give me a second. Right, so all of these things that we're seeing in so-called current events are all things that are prophetic in nature, right? And so though it seems like it had taken a long time, right? Though it seemed like it was tarrying, now the Heavenly Father is speaking through his prophecies, right? And we're going to start seeing the world is going to change because the mindsets of the people are going to change. So let me because I said that, which one is it? Yep. This is 2nd Ezra 15 and 16. I'll start at 15 here. 14. Pardon me. It says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein," right? "For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands," right? "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power," right? So this is a mouthful here, right? It's talking about one people standing up to fight against another, swords in their hands, right? Sedition among men. I didn't want to do that, but since I did, let's do this. Now I can search Google for sedition. It says conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch, right? So what does it say? They shall not regard their kings or princes, right? And the course of their action shall stand in their power, right? Meaning, they're going to take matters into their own hands, right? Right. And this may be a prophecy to speak to, there ain't going to be no election. That election might get suspended, man. But we'll see. But either way, whether there's somebody in office or not, right? People are going to take matters into their own hands, especially if they got hungry kids at home, especially if they're hungry, right? You're gonna do all you can in those moments to find food, right? It says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city shall be troubled, and houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation." You see? So that's what's happening, man. This is what we're seeing. We're seeing the start of that, right? We don't know, how long the strike is going to last, right? But it's definitely, regardless of how long it lasts, it's definitely it's going to leave its mark, in other words, right? It's not going to just come and go and then we continue as normal. We're going to feel that pain from this strike, right? Let's see what else we got up in here. This goes with Habakkuk. This is 2nd Ezra's, what is this? 4 and 37. It says, "By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times, and he doth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled," right? So the Lord has all of these things in perfect timing, man. Like I said, I was watching the news yesterday, and all of these prophetic things are happening in the news, right? And so it's all beautiful, man. It's all beautiful. Now it's just time for us to just, sit and wait, right? What's this here? Yep, this is Ephesians 5:15. It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil," right? And these are the times that we're coming on, some evil, hard times. And what did the apostles of Har say? The year of the hopeful year of the time of Jacob's trouble, right? So this is where we're at, man. The beginning stages of that, or as the scriptures say, I think it's in Matthew 24. Yep, Matthew 24:8. It says, "All these things are the beginning of sorrows," right? And so that's where we are, man. We're at the beginning stages of that hardship that's coming, right? Read that one already. What's this one? This is I think this is see real quick. 2nd Ezra 6:22. 2nd Ezra 6:22. It says, "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty." he said we got 2 weeks, we have weeks worth of storage, huh? Yeah, but it says suddenly, right? Shall the sown places appear unsown, the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, right? So this is what's gonna happen, man. It's very simple. It's very simple. It's not anything complicated or deep about it, right? These things are happening, and it's time for us to hunker down and stay prayed up, man. It's gonna be difficult for us to go through, right? Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, this is Ezekiel 12:22. This it says, "Son of man, what is that proverb that ye have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth," right? And this is our people, right? Our people are always the first ones talking about where was this Lord, this God, when we were in slavery, right? Where was he? Or they'll say Jesus. Where was Jesus, during our captivity? Why didn't he come save us, right? It says, "Tell them, therefore, thus saith the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel. But say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect of every vision," right? "For there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel. For I am the Lord, I will speak, and the word that I shall speak shall come to pass," right? "It shall be no more prolonged," right? "For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word and will perform it, saith the Lord power. And again the word of the Lord came to me, saying, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say, the vision that he seeth is for many days to come," right? I mean, it ain't gonna happen in our time. Yeah, I believe it, but it ain't gonna happen in our time. It ain't no way. "And he prophesied of the times that are far off. Therefore say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, there shall none of my words be prolonged any more, but the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord power." You see? And this is where we are, right? I think I got one more here. Let's see. Yep. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, "Remember now the Creator in the days of thy youth," right? "While the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them," right? So don't wait till you ain't got no pleasures left in your life to turn yourself over to the Heavenly Father, right? You do it now while the evil days come not. So the Lord is going to, repay us, or let's say, give a reward to those who have turned their lives over to the Lord, right? And hopefully, we're in that number, right? So that's it, man. Hopefully that was edifying. again, these prophecies are speaking, right? They're jumping right off the page. So Lord's will, we make it out of here as the heat gets turned up. So with that, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone. Honor and salutation to the elect. With that, I say Shalom.